Hello, my name is Gregory Taylor, and welcome to my presentation on motor carrier safety regulations. This project is part of my final course assignment. I'll be focusing on the Federal Motor Carrier Safety Administration, or FMCSA, which regulates trucking safety in the United States. Trucks move nearly 70% of all U.S. freight by weight, according to the American Trucking Associations. Because of that, motor carrier safety has a direct impact on businesses, communities, and the economy. In 2021 alone, large trucks were involved in over 5,000 fatal crashes, representing about 13% of all roadway deaths. These tragedies highlight why strong safety rules matter. In this presentation, I'll explain why I chose this mode, the key regulations, their impact, real-world examples, and what I learned from this research. Motor carriers operate everywhere, on highways, city streets, and rural roads. Their scale makes safety critical. In 2020, there were about 415,000 police-reported crashes involving large trucks in the U.S., with nearly 4,500 of those being fatal. To prevent tragedies, FMCSA creates rules that carriers must follow. These rules protect drivers and the public, but also ensure freight arrives safely. A well-known example was the Walmart crash in 2014, when a fatigued driver caused a crash that killed comedian James McNair and severely injured actor Tracy Morgan. Investigators linked it to driver fatigue, one of FMCSA's biggest concerns. Cases like this show that unsafe trucking can cost lives, damage supply chains, and ruin company reputations, making regulations absolutely essential. I chose motor carrier safety because trucking is the most visible freight mode in our daily lives. Trucks deliver nearly everything: groceries, fuel, medicine, and consumer goods. But they are also dangerous. Large trucks can weigh up to 80,000 pounds, and when accidents happen, the damage is catastrophic. In 2021, 72% of people killed in large truck crashes were occupants of other vehicles, showing how trucking safety extends beyond drivers. Personally, I've seen highway accidents involving trucks that shut down traffic for hours. Regulations aren't just paperwork. They are about real lives and real communities. The FMCSA's use of technology, like electronic logging devices, shows how rules evolve to balance safety with efficiency. That combination of visibility, impact, and innovation made me choose motor carriers. FMCSA enforces several core safety standards. Hours of service rules cap driving at 11 hours within a 14-hour shift, requiring rest to reduce fatigue, which contributes to about 13% of all truck crashes. Electronic logging devices, mandated since 2017, reduced falsification of records by over 50%. Driver qualification standards require training, medical exams, and background checks. Carriers must maintain vehicles. Brake problems are cited in nearly 30% of truck-related crashes. Drug and alcohol testing rules keep impaired drivers off the road. In 2022, over 60,000 drivers were removed from duty after failing tests. Finally, hazardous materials transport requires special permits and training, since hazmat accidents can cost communities millions in cleanup. These rules exist to directly prevent accidents and loss of life. Safety regulations reshape carrier operations. Compliance costs are high. The ELD mandate alone cost the industry over $1 billion in the first year. Hours of service rules reduce scheduling flexibility, but studies show they cut fatigue-related crashes by at least 10%. Companies that comply benefit in other ways. FMCSA safety ratings are public, and unsafe carriers lose contracts. Insurance companies also charge higher premiums to unsafe operators. For example, carriers with strong compliance records often save up to 20% on insurance. Customers increasingly choose safer carriers to protect their supply chains. While safety rules can slow operations and increase costs in the short term, they improve efficiency, reliability, and competitiveness over time. The Walmart crash in 2014 was a wake-up call for hours of service enforcement. The driver had been awake for more than 24 hours, violating fatigue rules. Another real-world case was the FMCSA's adoption of electronic logging devices. Before 2017, more than 50% of hours of service violations went undetected. After ELDs became mandatory, violations fell sharply, improving compliance across the industry. In 2021, FMCSA audits revealed that carriers with poor safety ratings had crash rates nearly double those of compliant carriers. On the positive side, J.B. Hunt, a major trucking company, saw lower insurance premiums and more business opportunities by consistently maintaining high safety scores. These cases prove that compliance with regulations saves lives and benefits business operations. This project taught me that safety regulations are not optional. They are essential. At first glance, rules like hours of service or ELDs might seem burdensome, but when you connect them to lives saved, the value becomes clear. I also learned that fatigue is one of the most dangerous issues, responsible for thousands of accidents each year. Technology has helped enforcement, but the human factor remains challenging. What struck me most was how safety benefits businesses, not just drivers or communities. Safe carriers attract more customers, pay less for insurance, and build stronger reputations. Ultimately, I learned that safety isn't just compliance. It's a competitive advantage and a moral obligation in transportation.